Okay, recently on social media,
Hmm.
somebody had brought out his phone and recorded an incident that happened in London.
Yeah,
It was of a black woman, I think
yeah.
with two young kids, if I'm not mistaken,
I think she was a
being
child.
dragged
Yeah,
by two hefty looking Met police officers in
yeah.
London, in the London town. And that's caused a lot of protest and a lot of
Yeah.
anger
I think there was
in
uproar. Yeah,
society. So apparently what they said was she didn't pay the correct fare. I don't know how that works.
yeah. Because you have to tap. So they wanted to see. I think they check your bank card these days actually. Because I know recently, I would say on my way to work, I've seen more um, TFL enforcement officers,
Mm.
and I use my phone, and you literally have to like show, and then they tap the
Yeah.
phone.
So is it the case that she's tapped into the bus,
Yeah,
walk into the
she's
bus,
walked in.
and income
Uh,
protection officers were on the bus?
that's what I
We don't
think,
know.
but I
Okay,
don't know.
that's
Yeah, I don't
the
know the
only way you
extent
could
of it. Yeah,
tell.
and apparently she refused or she didn't show them her
And
card
they
or
physically dragged her like
yeah,
she
she
a
got off
thief.
the apparently she got off
Yeah.
the bus or something. But I mean the bus I think is like £1.90. So
1.75.
even
You
if
travel within the hour, you pay.
even if that was the
So,
case,
mm,
I don't know if that was a proportionate
there's never a
reaction.
proportionate reaction to whether dodging the bus fare or not, because if that is the case, there should be a proportional response to the MPs claiming and stealing and using cocaine at the parliament. And it should be for the bankers doing the same thing. If that's a proportionate response, there should be for those tax dodging, like Alan Sugars of this world and the Beckhams
But
and the
I
whatever.
also think
Those
that a
who
lot of the time, right? I know people don't like to have this conversation. I think race plays a very big part in
no, it race plays a part. We'll come to that. But
yeah,
the thing for me is let's deal with the now. A lady has gone into the bus, white or black.
yeah,
At the time she tapped in,
yeah,
sometimes the income protection officers were already on the bus,
yeah,
or they would be just two bus stops away and
yeah,
get on the
and then they'll
bus.
get on the bus. Yeah,
We've been subjected to these
yeah, yeah, of
previously.
course, yeah,
They come with their small.
yeah.
I never
You
smiled at them because
uh,
they're very fucking aggressive. Sorry for my language. They're so intimidating, so in your face. Like the fuck, give me my personal fucking space. They don't do it, women or men, because they think they wear all these garments. I can easily punch you, but I don't want that. I'll give them and they'll walk. Yeah. So that's the case. So
yeah,
now it's two things. They do that on the bus, or the bus driver would have alerted them.
mm-hmm.
Those are the two things. My problem is the speed which they get there, like the police officers.
Oh
That is
yeah,
my problem.
yeah,
How you waste taxpayers' money, blowing siren, blaring, running the streets of London, almost smashing people on your way to go hold somebody for £1.75.
yeah.
It don't make sense. Two
It
police
doesn't.
officers. Are you
No,
guys
no,
so
no.
fucking
And
less
and I-
busy?
and the kid was like screaming and
Seriously?
shouting.
Are you fucking less busy? I don't get it. There are so many things happening in London. There was a police officer recently sat in his car. Somebody was saying people are shoplifting at Co-op and they've punched the staff. He said, "That's not my business. I ain't going." You didn't run for that. But you're running for this because they described her as a black lady or what?
Probably.
And the reason I'm so pissed about this is because I've seen it happen so many times. So I'm
Okay.
really, really crazy about this
Yeah.
issue. And it's happened to blacks a lot. I've seen white people get on the buses and not pay and cuss the bus driver out, and the bus driver will chuck them out. The bus driver will have a little argument with a black kid. He's parked the bus. I ain't going nowhere. He's called the police. And my bus have been surrounded by more than 4 police vehicles. Just because a black kid was saying, "Look, I need to get to school. I don't have money on my card."
Yeah.
And I'll go there and be like, "Bus driver, why did you call?"
Yeah.
The bus drivers are so. Look, I don't want to insult anybody in uniform or anybody, whether uniform or not. But some of them are so just out of order.
No.
Have a proper conversation with these people. You don't have. I've seen them. I've seen good bus drivers say, "All right, don't worry, get it."
Yeah.
And I've seen some just park the bus and
Just
call
park
the
the
police.
bus. Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
police will surround
Yeah,
us
yeah,
like
yeah.
there was a known terrorist with firearms on the bus.
Yeah. I completely understand where you're coming from. And I think when it comes down to it, I think it's the way that society always treats. I know people don't want to have this conversation, but it's the way society treats black people. When
Yeah,
they think
it is
that-
what it is.
It's almost like they're waiting for you to do something wrong. So if there's a hint, all of a sudden,
Yeah. And they would have said an
yeah.
IC4 or IC3 female.
Yeah.
That's how they describe black. IC3 female, blah, blah, blah. Start on it. She's acting erratic. She's acting aggressive.
And it's that A word. It is the aggressive word.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate
Look, I've
that
observed
word.
this a lot. I use the Elizabeth line a lot.
Yeah.
And I get off Woolwich a lot.
Yeah.
One day, I know this staff in Woolwich. I'm not going to describe them, but I know them. Two. One is not tall. One is tall. One is English looking. The other one is Orient looking.
Yeah.
That's how far I will go. There's two there, and a white guy walked closer to them, pushed the barrier up and walked. The two went like that. And I said, that was a black kid. They would have rammed that kid down. They would have followed that kid to the train. They would have packed that train up because I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
It happened in Dartford.
Mm-hmm.
Was walking into the train station, Lowe's, and two police officers were running too. I think Dartford police people are different from us. Must be Kent. They were running to the platform. By the time I got to my platform, I saw that a young kid, black boy, was surrounded by more than 8 income protection officers. I'm not exaggerating this. Then additional police officers. But the police officers, they were quite good. They didn't get too close. One of them was far back talking to the income officers. And I observed that for a while. And I thought, that young dude must be so afraid. And I left my platform and I went. And I'm like, I'm a social worker. In case you needed any support, I'm here.
Yeah.
And the police officer said, that's fine, they've heard. I wanted to tell the income officers, say, get off, because you're intimidating a young boy who's like, what, 13, 14? You are grown-ass men and women.
Yeah.
You probably have that child as your grandchild, but you're surrounding him because of what? It does the fair. It's the end of the world.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister's hand is in so many posts. The London Mayor is in so many posts. They give themselves bonuses and all, whether good or not. And you're chasing this kid for that, intimidating him. And by the time he reacts, you pin him down.
Then they pin you down, and that's it. Yeah.
I don't like people who dodge fares. When I see young boys dodging fares, I stop them.
Yeah.
If you don't have money to travel, don't travel. Because as a black boy, you'll be treated differently once the cuffs go. It's going to be on your record. You won't get a job.
Yeah.
For the white guy, it's a slap on the wrist. And it is fact. Let anyone come challenge me on these perceptions. It is what it is.
Yeah. No. That I definitely agree with.
I'm having to... Sorry, I'm just...
No. Honestly, no. Because I think those are your lived experiences. Yeah. And I say this, I don't ever want to... I don't like interception when people are speaking about their lived experiences. Because those are your experiences. And for me, where I don't think I've ever really... Yeah, perhaps you do see like the disproportionate responses when it comes to people of different races. Normally they'll take your details, they'll just give you a fine and be like, off you go. But then
politely speaking.
Yeah. And
you want a cup of tea? When it's a black brother or a black sister, man, it's slam dunk.
Yeah. And
we're animals or what?
No. But I think also it's also there's this, I don't know what it is, there's a threat. And I also say that I'm never going to stop saying this, you don't get the benefit of the doubt as a black person. Even if what you're doing is
what are they afraid of?
In the grand scheme of things, you're like, why is your like your initial instinct is to be very, very aggressive and like campaign as if I'm going to do something, even when you're not being. Even when you're being polite, and another thing I see is trying to aggravate people to act out.
Yeah.
And I see this a lot with enforcement people.
Let's push them. They'll become the animal.
Yeah. They'll aggravate you, and then when you react, it's like, oh my God, can you believe that they did this when I asked them to do this?
My boy is 13. I have another boy who's 9. Now, we always drop them at school. Never. I know my daughter. I drive a very good car. I don't drive an old banker. Still, my daughter will say, push further, drop there. You don't want to see it. Let anybody see them coming out with this grandpa's car. You know, it's normal to this. She always say, drop us at the front anyway. But when she finished whatever they finished recently, GCSEs, my boy started to go school by himself because he also is growing and he don't want to come out of the car. Yeah. He's a big boy. I've never been so afraid in my life letting that boy get on the bus. And the bus is right outside my yard. Yeah. No joke. You come out of my yard, it's there. And that bus drops them outside of their school. Yeah. Bus 180. And people will know where I live now. Yeah. So that's the bus, but still I panic. I'm having to have these conversations with him. Don't go on the bus without the correct fare.
Without tapping.
Don't go where we didn't send you. Yeah. If your friends are saying, let's bomb school and go that place, do not go because you will be treated differently.
And I think also, do you know something that I find really strange and weird in terms of like bus drivers calling police officers and stuff on minors? You have free travel.
I don't know why.
So I'm like, this child is 13 years old. Yeah. They're entitled to free travel.
I have observed that a lot.
Even if they've lost their Oyster card or something.
On the bus.
Why are you not letting them on the bus?
TFL, if you're listening, you need to train your bus drivers, your train drivers.
Because sometimes you can clearly see that they're in school uniform, they're everything, and then you're like, no, you don't have your pass, so you can't get on.
And 2 seconds, the police are around our bus number.
And I find it so strange. And sometimes I sit back and I'm like, that is so weird. I think recently something went viral with the girl who was it was the last bus, and she didn't have her Oyster card or something, and the bus driver just like drove off and wouldn't let her on the bus because she didn't have the correct fare, and somebody put put it on blast, like they can't believe that TFL did this, and if they weren't there, because I think they offered to pay for the kid to get on the that was the only, and I'm like, so what, you were just going to leave them stranded?
I have offered before, but you can't do it twice when you've done
when
it
you've done it
once.
on the same card.
When it was cash, I have done before.
Yeah.
I have pleaded with bus drivers. Can you please
just let them
let this
on.
kid go, because we also got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
And I've seen grown-ass white people just cost and go, and they just continue driving. But I'm not lying, when it involves black around Woolwich, around Charlton, they've done it so many times, and like, I want to drag this bus driver down and punch them. But hey, I'll be done too.
No, you be done too.
Aggressive man.
I wouldn't advise that
I'm
at
already
all.
called angry all the time. Big angry black man. I'm not really big, but hey, you get where I'm coming from. Now, to touch on what you said there, that the speed at which the police got there. Every time there is austerity, every time there is cost of living crisis, the poor get hit so much.
Of course,
There is sanctions on your benefits if you don't attend the so-called, I don't know, bureaucratic appointments they give you.
Yeah.
There's always enforcement on the downtrodden.
Of
There's
course,
none on the upwards. The MPs are claiming expenses on what they shouldn't. Some have stolen. There's none of that enforcement.
Oh, no, of course not.
There are top executives doing the same, putting their hands in buckets they shouldn't be putting. None of that enforcement. It takes time. Or they haven't reported the case to us, but when it's the poor person or those down there, the working class, they're quick to react.
Yeah.
They're quick to surround your house. Like you've just, I don't know, you've put the whole world down.
And I think also, I'm even like thinking about it now that you've mentioned it, I feel like now where, austerity, people are struggling, it's cost of living crisis. I've seen more income protection officers on TFL than ever before.
Yeah.
Even recently, like going into work, I kid you not, at least once a week.
No, there's so many.
There is so many,
and I don't. More than the passengers.
And I don't know what's happening. There's been times where I've been on the train, Elizabeth line specifically,
it's a trend.
And sometimes, like on one journey, like there'll be 4 of them. So you get checked. You're walking down, because I like to walk all the way down to right to a particular, so that when I get to my stop, I'm literally by the exit. So I'm walking down. Somebody's checked. At the next stop, and another set of income protection officers have gotten on, and they're like, "Oh, you've already been checked," and I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, there's a group already on this train," and I'm like, "Come on, guys, what's happening?"
They used to annoy me around Woolwich when you get in between the Southeastern train and the DLR. What really pissed me off with these people is this: if I could stand, I would do it. They would just spread out like they're tourists in Oxford circles, not giving space to move behind and. You're coming, you're stretching I don't get it. So many times I want to bump through them. Can you just give me a break, get off? Abbeywood is the worst. And this is what it is. You're already assuming an aggressive posture. An aggressive posture in the income officers and the police officers. They spread out. Look at the turnstile. You're coming out of here, these dudes are here.
Yeah. They literally...
Can you give me space to move? And I walked into a police officer, and I did it deliberately. At Abbeywood. I was coming, I kept coming. People were just trooping. You know when you're coming out of the train?
There's a lot. Yeah.
Even if I dilly-dally for a minute, I'm stopping people.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing people dancing. Move out of the way. This dude was there. And I screamed and I said, move! And I walked past him, a police officer. I was ready to fight because I don't see why you're standing there.
Yeah.
Get off. Give me some 5 meters.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
If you see that it doesn't work, then come. And most times, somebody got me recently to try to use the tap thing. I don't do it. I just use my card. And sometimes, this is a new card again. I got a couple of days.
Yeah.
The other one, the chip broke. So I'm there trying to tap. It wasn't working. Just started seeing him walking and standing, assuming he's aggressive. Well, look at his dickhead. Sorry for my language. I'm like, what are you doing? You're walking towards me already because...
because sometimes it doesn't work.
Can you please wait?
Yeah.
See if it doesn't work.
I've had...
And I just took my time. I was touching all of them. I just kept going, then he walked on one. I just looked at him and kissed my teeth. I'm like, he just left his position.
Straight
that's
away.
A black man who don't want to pay fare. If I don't want to pay fare, can you hold me?
But I think another thing is that the thing with contactless, sometimes it doesn't even work. Because I've had instances where my contactless stopped working. And I was like, oh, why is this? And you just have to, you're then shuffling around looking for another card to use.
TFL need to train their income protection officers.
They do.
Need to train them before people start
punching them. They're very hostile.
They need to train their bus drivers before people start punching them. They need to not be so aggressive or quick to call the police. And the police need to know that's not part of their job.
Yeah.
That ain't a crime that's going to kill the whole world. That ain't part of your job.
Yeah.
Come on, man. There's so many big things happening.
There are far
That's
more.
the least. Somebody dodged the fare or didn't pay the correct fare and you are chasing them?
Yeah.
You know how much TFL owe me for touching incorrectly or whatever? You know how long it takes for them? I don't call the police on TFL and say I've just been charged £25 like I was charged the other day because the thing it didn't touch properly. But it opened for me, and yet they say it was an incorrect journey. You didn't see me calling the police. Can you go arrest the TFL bus? It took more money. You know how many millions of unspent money is with TFL?
Yeah.
And you're chasing a woman and almost to this of slamming her in front of her children
In
that
front
will
of
be
her
scarred
child.
forever.
Yeah.
Metropolitan Police paid them $50 million or pounds, they haven't started yet.
Yeah.
And they're just going to sweep down under the carpet. It's just going to happen again.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's the sometimes I sit back and I think it's unfortunate, right? And I say this as a bad combination: being black and being poor, deadly combination.
Oh yeah, it is. We've always said that.
Deadly combination.
You're black and you're poor too. So try to be rich. So you call the shots, even when you're rich as well.
Even when you're rich, you still have to deal with that element of race.
Don't get me wrong. There are good and kind police officers who
of course. Yeah. Like just
but when you get caught to a situation, I know you're enforcement.
I say this all the time. I think people don't understand. Yeah, you can have a couple of good police officers within a particular institution, but when the institution itself is rotten to the core, those individual good people, I'm sorry, they don't make that much of an impact
they don't.
Because you have to change the institution. Like if you don't, there is no point in trying to, whether it's pushing more people from different ethnicities into the police, because at the core of the institution itself has an issue.
They came to our neighborhood, they were recruiting black people, and I just, you want to be a med for us? I say, man, get off my front, man. My friend went to sign up. He never got the call anyway, but I just thought, you're just doing tick box approaches.
Oh yeah. And that isn't going to work.
Whether you send the black police officers to come arrest them, they will behave aggressively.
And I say this all the time, and it's like, I feel like we keep having the same conversations over and over again. So you've got the Macpherson report, which was in the 90s, where we talked about the police being institutionally racist. And however many years down the line,
and we're still having
the same conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at what point are we going to sit down and actually say that, yes, we're institutionally racist, and these are the measures that we've put in place to change the institution, not just tick box exercises. It's not just a matter of hiring more ethnic.
Do not call the police out for any suspect fair dodges. Don't. You have income protection officers. I don't see why you have another layer above them. If they can't do the job effectively, then
there's no need for them.
There's no need for them. You have the British Transport Police bearing on us already. Then you have the police on top of that. You have your dog. What is happening?
Yeah.
Just because a man is being...
There is a lot if you actually
there's suspicion of me dodging a £1.75 fare. The whole world just... What is it? There's bigger crimes happening. They don't run after those people. It's just sad. And
it is quite sad.
And that thing that happened...
Because I say at the moment there's an epidemic of cars being stolen. And I wish they would take it as seriously as they're taking...
No, they won't take that seriously because they'll tell you your insurance covers that.
As they take it. No,
seriously.
I know, but that's the thing, that's what they do tell them.
I hope that woman gets support and sue them. Sue those police officers personally, sue them for so much and sue the Met Police. I hope she gets to do that because I think if you hit them financially, they start to make sense about things. True.
Yeah, because it'll be vicarious liability.
You hit them where it hurts. And it's always
in
the
your
money.
pockets.
Hit people in the pocket, because if that was my boy or that was my wife or me, this won't be the last that we hear of it.
Yeah.
Whether I get support or not, we will be dragging this forever. Because it can happen to us. It can happen to me.
Of course.
It can happen to my boys.
Yeah.
We're just talking about kids being kids. These are kids. They scarcely have any understanding about the world around them.
Yeah.
They come out of their house, they barely just found their bus pass or their Oyster card. You had the time to check whether it was money, get straight onto the bus, and you're giving them hassles in the morning. They barely just put their trousers up. They run in to go catch the bus. They're already stressed from everything that is happening around them. And the bus driver is getting grumpy. I don't know what side he woke up from the bed. And he's pressed a fast call button to police for what? Grown ass people. And the police come and do slam dunk like they're in wrestling. Yeah. I hope she sues them.
Yeah, she should.
Sometimes I just think our people, the support is not really there. They don't do much. They just come out, shout on the street, and tomorrow you go back and it happens again. Go to the court. Sue those people. Sue those police
But then
officers.
also, I
Don't
think
wait for for whatever
I think
investigation police are doing.
I think also the other thing is that suing an institution like the Met or whatever it is, it's an expensive process.
You've got a law background.
It's an
Can they not
expensive.
sue those people personally
It's
for
an
assault?
it's an
Or are
expensive.
they covered because of police?
It's an expensive process.
There's no legal aid anymore, right?
Legal aid is restricted so much to very, very like. If
this
it's not,
is when the community should come together.
That's the
and
thing.
put money together.
It's so restricted. It's
We
very
tend
hard to
make
get
money for
legal
this,
aid.
not
these
only
days.
when people die. And
Yeah. That's the thing. The thing is that
I will put my money
for
there.
me, I would say
let's
this
fight them.
because litigation itself is an expensive process. If you do not have the funds, and that's a fact, like there's no way you're pursuing that.
I see. But this person ain't fair dodging though.
No, she actually paid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what led to the outrage. That in actual fact, even what you accused her of, she actually didn't do.
Whether she paid or not.
Of course.
Whether she paid or not.
The response was disproportionate.
It's disproportionate. It don't matter.
Yeah, I agree.
There are other ways we could have dealt with it, irrespective of the color, especially a black child.
Because I mean that feeds into that topic that we talked about the outdoorification of black children and how that happens. It's all linked.
It's linked.
It's intertwined.
They need to go back to their board and train them. There need to be some sort of entry level into the sort of profession, even the police.
Yeah.
Then I'm a social worker. I did a degree. I got a first class degree to get into my profession.
Yeah.
I've done a master's, done that profession. Most social workers have a master's degree. I don't think the police force have a degree to become a police. It seems like you're just being a big bully and that's how you become a police officer. I don't get it. There's need for an entry level into this institution.
Yeah.
Where you teach them about values, ethics, de-escalation. Police don't de-escalate.
No.
Maybe it's only when they do whole state negotiation, that's when they know those skills. There's need for that. There's need for the bus drivers to also be trained, retrained.
Yeah.
The profession for dogs and bullies. And people who don't understand common language. I'm not denigrating any profession. I'm just saying this is my experience. There's a way you talk to people that will elicit the same response. If you came in an aggressive format,
you get the same thing in response.
I don't see the train drivers. I get on the bus. I always say good morning to whoever's behind the wheel. Some respondents with a smile. Some just get very pissed. And I just well, your luck, man. It's not a good morning for you, that's your business. Not a good afternoon for you, that's your business. I'm exiting the box. I'm like, thank you. You respond, you don't.
Yeah.
None of my business. I've done my fair deal to society. But there's need for de-escalation, especially when it comes to a child, because they don't know how to do it. The other one was with the other child they slammed as well. How do you slam a child and the parents are at home and they get that call from the police or from members of the public? I won't take that. I will be destroying things for that. Seriously. So TFL needs to go back to the drawing board and train their staff, income protection officers, and should not be quick to press the button to call the police.
Yeah.
British Transport Police should be able to train the staff too. When you stand before the tombstones, give us some meters to be able to come out. Give us space. For Christ's sake. Don't just stand there waiting. Like, it's intimidating already. We're stressed already coming from a stressful job. Well, we're not paid properly, some of us, most of us. We're coming from a hard day job.
True.
We've paid our fair share to the society on that day. And we don't want a man or a woman with cops or around them standing just in front of the tombstones like that. Please give us space. Please. For Christ's sake.
Sometimes you even miss your connecting train. That happened to me
because
recently.
Of them.
Because
you're running to catch
a train, yeah.
You're standing in front of me like I flew from the start to the train station. What is your problem? Why is so much emphasis on protecting that?
Yeah.
I know every little adds up, man, but for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. It's a cry, it's a plea.
Yeah.
Please, stop. Because if this was me, man, I don't think I would take it lightly. No. I'm just saying it is true. I don't know how I would react. If you did that to me or my children, I don't know how I would react. So please, to avoid all of that, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we'll come back to this so far again to talk about these things.
You think that's going to be?
I'm not really confident.
You're not confident that anything is going to change?
No, I'm not really confident.
I mean, we just have to wait and see.
It's a wait and see game.
Yeah.